Hello everyone, this is Caroline. Today is Healers Program Series 12A. If you are joining for the first time, please make sure that you have followed the classes 1 to 12, in fact 1 to 14. And this is a practice session, meaning we're going to practice everything we've learned from the first class. That is the reason why, if you are tuning in for the first time, in order to really understand how we're working and to really maximize the benefits of this session, I recommend that you go back and listen to the previous classes. So let's go ahead and get started today. It's really simply a practice session. So we're not going to add any more information in terms of tools and things like that, but as relevant, of course, we will add the information that is relevant to leading a session. Today we're going to actually practice leading a session, and of course using the Omnium method, nothing else. We're going to do some sort of a check. We're going to go through a checklist to make sure that we are prepared for the session, and we are going to practice. You are going to practice doing the session on someone else. In other words, you're going to take the lead. I'm not going to lead tonight, and we're going to assist you in leading the session. So let's see how that goes. First of all, before we proceed, let's go through the checklist. When we want to conduct a healing session, a few things to remember. Me as the healer, as the facilitator, today, before I come in contact with anyone, even with myself in fact, to conduct any sort of healing, I want to first connect to Source. We've talked about that being very important, to raise the vibration, to create a sacred space, keep away all the distracting thoughts, and so on and so forth. I'm going to set my intent that my own personal issues, my own human mind does not interfere. And of course that I'm going to abide by my own healer's agreement. We talked about that in details, I believe, in class 2. So we want to make sure that we are simply intending that we are sticking by our agreement and to facilitate the process. We are going to, as soon as we feel ready, I'm not going to proceed unless I'm ready. If I'm not ready, I'm going to stop and make sure I am ready. So if you're all frazzled, if you feel that there's something that still needs to be worked out, please make sure that you don't proceed with any sort of healing on yourself or on the other person, because you are going to be bringing that information with you, and it's simply going to clog you up. Your guidance system is going to be harder to understand. So please make sure you are ready before you begin. When you feel ready, then you invite your client. As we've been doing, please explain in your own words what it is that you want to work on. Even though you begin to see or sense or feel what the problem is, but it's very important, this is part of the healing, to allow the client to begin to express, to articulate in their own words what is the problem in their opinion. So that is very important to begin the process. We want to, once we've heard what the problem is, we are ready, then we're going to very briefly, we're not going to go through a whole class, it could be very exhausting actually for the client without getting too technical, but we want to say what we're going to do and why. Communication. A lot of people want to understand what it is that you're going to be doing. Some people just want to be in the experience and know nothing, but kind of like get a massage and not really understand what happened, what came up. But I think most people would like to briefly understand that we're going to raise our vibration. We're going to do a simple sort of a prayer or a meditation of some sort that you're going to lead. This will allow you to feel, see, sense, or go back to the root cause of the issue. Then once you've explained what you're going to do, then you lead the connection. Okay, so now the client knows that that's what you're doing. So They don't have to suddenly, hear you say, I ask and intend to connect to source, and then they're going to say, well, what is source, and why is she, what are we doing, and why is that? So that's why you talk about it briefly before, so that the client knows what you're doing is just, and is more relaxed, more allowing. So you connect to source with the client, you create a sacred space with the client, for the client, and then you merge with the spirit self, and then you simply allow your guidance system to guide you through what tool to use for what, at which time, when to pause, when to accelerate, when to let go. All of that should be in your contract, all right? And then at the end of the session, you must feel that you are done. But see, what happens is that, let's say that you want to give just an hour session or an hour and a half sessions, you want to also put in your contract that no matter what you do, you want to basically wrap things up within an hour. I mean, you can go, 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something beyond that, but you want to stay in the ballpark. You don't want to set yourself up to an open-ended session, because this happens a lot in the beginning, and you find yourself really exhausted and conducting 3-hour sessions that were supposed to be an hour or what have you. At the end, make sure you tell the client what to do next. Don't leave them just, okay, you're done, this was really good, it's going to continue, but then give them something very specific to do. It could be as simple as the connection. It doesn't have to be a prescription for, a whole series of things, but say just connect to source once a day or something, for them to carry that that energy with them as they leave the session. And of course, depending on who the client is, you may want to follow up or as needed, of course. Okay. Okay, another quick checklist here. So in terms of sessions, we talked about a direct session, meaning when you are working with the person directly, or as a surrogate. We've seen the different options, the tools. Of course, we have ask and intend. We have light frequencies. We know to use 734 to 1000 hertz to raise the vibration. We know to use 1200, 1800 zero universal light, which is not the same as zero universal sound. In terms of sound, we learned about the key, using the key system, just to have a frame, a sort of a reference point. We talked about the keys R, U, V, zero universal, of course, and we talked about geometry. We talked about 0 point, several techniques here. We covered spinning, alignment, regeneration. We covered vibrational entrainment, universal calibration. So check this out. You have only done 2 modules of the Omnium method, and you have all of these tools for you to use. And each tool is extremely complex and extremely, it seems very simple to simply say ask and intend, but we've covered that. You are reprogramming the consciousness of the cell, of the DNA. So it's a lot of information that you are moving around using so many different tools, and you are simply halfway through. So I hope you are really understanding and realizing and appreciating how this method gets you to function as a multidimensional healer, as a multidimensional facilitator. You are not just working as with a linear brain, just repeating something in a textbook. That is simply not how it works. And so you are practicing working with your full consciousness, coming in contact with full consciousness, and maneuvering, shifting consciousness using very pure organic tools that are based on the laws of the universe. Anyway, so here we go. This is basically the quick rundown. And color is part of light. It's not something separate, Marshawn. So what we're going to do now is we're going to practice remembering all this checklist and of course remembering the tools. So what we're going to do is I'd like someone to volunteer to be the healer, facilitator, and someone to be worked on. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to conduct the session very quickly. We're going to do mini sessions, obviously. We're not going to spend the whole hour on one person. We're going to do very short 15-minute sessions simply to connect the client to source, to identify, to hear them out, to allow them to express, for you to understand, to practice explaining what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, because don't forget, see, this is also not a general formula, one size fits all. You always repeat the same thing. I don't repeat this to everyone in the same way. If I'm working with somebody who's very skeptical about these things, I'm going to use certain terminology. I'm going to use something they can relate to. I'm going to use a vocabulary that they feel comfortable with. I'm not changing my tools or my understanding. I'm simply explaining it in a way that they could understand, so they can relax, you see. And so that's why, practicing how you're going to explain very briefly, without being too technical, what you will do is a very good practice depending on the person. And so so we're going to hear you practice that. We're going to allow you to connect the client to source and basically identify the first root cause of the issue and the first couple of tools, and then we will, let somebody else practice. All right. But before we do this, any questions about this? And we're going to, and please let me know who would like to volunteer. If not, I will have to assign you. So who would like to volunteer, first of all, as the practitioner? Please send me a note now. And who would like to volunteer as the client? Send me a note, please. And who would like to, who has a question? This is also the time. All right, so we already have one client, and of course the rest of us are going to offer the feedback. We're not going to participate in the session. We're not going to assist in any form of energetic support or anything like that. We're going to observe, and after the practitioner is done with the session, then we're going to offer feedback. So that's how we're going to go about this. So I don't see any questions so far. Any questions? No? Okay, cool. Kim, you want to be a practitioner, and Susan, you want to be a client. So let me open the lines, one moment. Needless to say, in order to volunteer, you should have a mic so we can all hear you. Kim, say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Good evening.
Okay. Susan, say hi, please.
Hi.
Very good. So everyone, please be in your receptive mode, in your allowing mode. Make sure that you're not projecting anything. You're not trying to help Kim find something or figure something. We are truly in our own sacred space, in our own bubble, not projecting anything. All right? So whenever you're ready, Kim, take it away. And Susan, here you are the client coming in contact with Kim. So here you go.
Carol, just a quick question. So let's say I'm one of the people observing right now. Isn't just the fact that I'm observing, won't that change what's going on?
Exactly. That's exactly why I said what I just said. So that's why the observer sets the intent to remain in a bubble and not project anything. Otherwise, you are naturally projecting your thoughts into the collective consciousness, which is this particular group at this particular time, right? So that's why I said, if you intend for you to remain in your own bubble, then you will not feel our energy. All right. So please make sure, everyone, this is the way, even though you're really, really, really tempted to, to do something or to help Susan, or if you find out something that Kim has not seen yet, please make sure you keep it yourself. Visualize that you're in your own bubble and nothing could come out. This is the way we're going to be helping Kim and Susan at this time. Okay, ready?
Okay,
Susan, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Take it away.
Hi, Susan. How are you today?
Very well.
I'd like to get to know you a little bit more before we start. How did you find out about me?
About Omnium.
Yes.
I used to listen to Carolyn when she had a show on World Food Network.
I'm having a little trouble understanding Sue.
Yeah, it's your the voice is a little bit, it's not as clear, Susan. So can you speak a little bit louder maybe, or clearer? I'm not sure if it's your mic.
I used to listen to Carolyn on the World Food Show on the internet when she had a show there.
So you're a little familiar with Omnium, and are you a little familiar with Omnium healing practices?
I am. I've taken her courses online.
Oh, great. Okay, that's good to know. Well, I've been following Caroline as well, and I am also familiar with the healing practices, and I'm glad we're having a session today. So before we get started, do you have any questions about how this is going to proceed, or any concerns at all?
No, I'm very grateful.
Wonderful. Okay. So as we begin, I'd like you to relax and get a clear picture in your mind and in your heart of what exactly you would like to address today in our healing session together. And let's just spend a few moments doing that quietly. And Sue, if you're ready to discuss what your objective is today, go ahead and let's start talking about what it is you need help with, and then we can go from there.
Thank you. What I need help with is timely. I have a fear of conducting these sessions well and really finding out how to help the people. I'm not as clear when I'm tuning into people, it's a lot of people, and I could feel the fear in my body at the thought of conducting a session. So I'd like to remove any block so I can fully be part of that.
Now, does this fear occur before you see anybody? Is it just anticipation, or is it particular to certain clients, or is it just all the time?
I think it's mainly with Omnium because I guess with Omnium on certain people, I'm comfortable with other healing modalities I use. But I think this is the most important, and I want to feel I'm doing it right.
So you're familiar with other modalities and you've done healing of other kinds?
Correct.
I see. Okay, so right now your fear is predominantly with Omnium, which is probably, am I right, the newest method you've learned?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so today we'd like to address your fear of new clients using the Omnium method with you being a practitioner. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So are you ready to go into our session now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So let's both sit upright in our seats with our feet flat on the floor, and let's relax. And what I'd like you to do is just breathe deeply. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And each time you release your breath, when you breathe out, relax a little more. So let's breathe in again through the nose. and out through the mouth. I'd like you to take several breaths by yourself and remembering to, when you breathe out, just relax. And I'll be right back. And one more time, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Okay, so if you're ready, we'll begin our session now.
I'm ready, thank you.
I will start, and then when there may be occasions where I ask you to repeat after me, but I'll let you know ahead of time. And what I'm going to do is connect with you, and you will tell me what exactly the issue is, and you will actually show me how to address it. So I'm connecting with you, and you are the one with the answers. And I'm just a conduit here to help you. I may at times speak, sometimes I will be silent. I may use colors, shapes, sound, whatever comes up, guided by you, and I will give you feedback as we go along. If you have any questions at any time, just speak up. We ask and intend to create sacred space. We ask and intend that all distracting thoughts, distracting energies, and information be banned from this space now. We ask and intend that our spirit families of source be here with us now to help us create and maintain this sacred space. Our intent today is to connect with Sue and understand her fear of conducting sessions using the Omnium method. We ask and intend to address the root cause of this fear and to heal it today. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. So imagine a beautiful golden sphere about a foot in diameter, and imagine that around your throat area. It's very beautiful color, golden yellow. It's very soothing. It's relaxing the muscles in your throat. And just allow it to relax your muscles, a little bit of warmth. It's very pleasant, just enjoy this. And I'd like you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And how does your throat feel now?
It feels calm and light.
You feel relaxed?
Yes.
All right. Now I would like you to repeat after me. I ask and intend
Ask and intend
to be able to use my voice,
to be able to use my voice,
my true voice, when doing a healing session.
and doing this
I ask and intend
and intend
that I be able to speak the truth,
that I be able to speak the truth,
use my true voice
use my true voice
from my higher self
for my higher self
in all interactions with clients
in all interactions with loving
in healing session.
and healing session.
Okay, let's go back to your throat again. You can keep that sphere around your throat. We're now going to go down to your heart center. And in your heart center, we're going to have another sphere appear. Again, this sphere's pink, though it's not golden, it's pink color. Just about a foot in diameter around your heart. And in this sphere, the pink is soothing, loving, relaxing. And as your heart relaxes, imagine your heart center opening. Very nice. And as your heart center opens, you feel expansion, you feel love. The pink sphere grows all around your body, and the love is turning to self-love. How do you feel?
You're wonderful.
So repeat after me one more time. I ask and intend
I ask and intend
to remember this self-love,
to remember the self-love,
to remember my true higher self,
to remember my true higher self,
and my voice
and my voice,
in all interactions
all interactions
with all my clients.
with all my clients.
I ask and intend
And
to come from this higher self,
come from the higher self
and this self-love,
and the self-love,
and with truth.
truth.
And let's go to your throat one more time, and let's breathe in through the nose. And as you breathe out, imagine all the tightness flowing out with every breath. We're going to do it one more time. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. How does your throat feel?
It feels very good.
Let's repeat one more time. I ask and intend
I ask and intend
to remove all fear
to remove all fear,
of speaking my truth
speaking my truth
from my throat,
from my throat,
my windpipe, my neck, my tongue, my jaw. I ask and intend
I ask and intend
to release all fear
to release all fear,
of speaking my truth
speaking my truth
from my throat,
from my throat,
and replace it with the self-love and truth
and I place love and truth
that we experience today.
we experience today.
And so it is. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel love.
Nice.
You wrap it up, please.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Sue. We're going to now be quiet for 1 second. And in gratitude, we thank Sue's Spirit family for helping us today and all of the beings that participated in this healing. Sue, feel any energy you may feel, drain it now down through your body, through your feet. Imagine it going into the center of the earth. Focus on your heart. Wiggle your fingers and toes, be in your body, feel grounded. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Thank you, Kim. So now we would like to get feedback from everyone on Kim's ability to conduct a session, because this is what this class is about. What have you observed? What have you felt for Kim? Things that she did very well and things that she could improve on. That's what this session is about. So please begin to type in or raise your hand. I'd rather hear your voice to explain, to share and give feedback for Kim. Go ahead, Laura. What have you observed that could be helpful?
Yes, first of all, I think Kim is very brave to have done this.
Yeah.
And
You're going to be next, Laura.
yes, I can sing from Susan, yeah. I won't be able to do it. Anyway, so I found that she has a very appeasing voice. She makes people that come to the client feel very comfortable and at ease, and she's reassuring and very enveloping, enveloppant, I'd say in French. I don't know the English word for it.
Yeah, we don't hear you very clearly, Laura. So speak into.
Okay, yeah, my mic
Okay,
moved,
that's
sorry.
good. Okay.
Yeah, I find that Kim really, she wraps around people very tenderly,
Yes.
and she's very loving. And that is the very positive aspect.
Right.
I had the impression that she didn't really address the root cause, or if she felt it,
Yeah.
she didn't really tell the client at all where it was.
Very
I
good.
think intuitively she found it, but she didn't voice it. And I think maybe the client needed to hear what it was.
Very good. Excellent. Did you find what the root cause was? You don't have to, because we were observing Kim, in fact, so it doesn't.
I didn't listen. I didn't look for
Yeah.
the cause at all.
Okay.
I was just
That's fine.
listening to Kim.
Yep. That's fine. Fair enough. Because that's not. We were really meant to be watching the practitioner. So anybody else who felt what? This is the purpose of this. Constructive criticism is to support Kim and everyone, in fact, because you should also see yourself in her and see the things that you would have done differently or not, or maybe, all right. So Anik, I'm going to open the mic for you so you can speak up. Go ahead, Anik.
Replug my mic. I totally agree with Linda's comment. I think Laura's comment. I think that Kim did a great job. I think her voice and just the way she presented the whole thing and introduced herself and got in contact with I think it was great. But at the same thing, I would have loved to hear what the root cause was. So
Exactly. Very good.
I could improve myself.
Yeah, very nice, very personal, very. Who else has what to say? Would you have done something different, or this is how you guys are going to learn. Be prepared, whoever's going to be next. But all right, so for me, Kim, very, very personal kind of way of presenting herself. It's her own introduction, her own personal connection, and to make the client feel very comfortable. Love it. Very, very, very warm. Like you guys, I don't think that Kim was very clear on the root cause. In fact, we're going to ask her if she really was, but she didn't voice it. And that's okay, because eventually, or hopefully, by the end of the session, don't forget we're doing like a crash 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minute sessions. Eventually, the idea is that if you're not clear, doing it in this way would eventually get you there. So, but there were some things that were actually quite obvious that have to do with the root cause. Kim, do you think you were clear and you didn't tell it, or were you not clear and just allowing yourself to get there?
Well, for me, I saw that she couldn't find her voice because she had a fear of Creator.
Okay.
But I didn't feel in 15 minutes we can address that. So I treated it as if we were going to have multiple sessions, and I just got her comfortable and helping her understand that her capabilities, and she can speak from her higher self and make her feel her self-love. And then the next session I would build a little more. So that's what, I didn't feel like I could do it.
Okay, that's fine. But that's fine that you saw that. But I feel that you still could have addressed at least, the fact that, in fact, there was her father first. She's terrified of pleasing her father. That's why the Omnium method pretty much breaches the whole, the whole understanding. I mean, her father's understanding of life, of truth. And that's the first step. Correct me if I'm wrong, Susan.
I didn't see her father either.
Yeah.
I didn't see her father.
Yeah, so that was the first block. And because the Omnium method is the energy of Creator, it is working with universal laws. So that would be challenging everything that her father really stands for, represents. So the huge energy of her father was the first thing blocking her from the ultimate thing of being accepted by Creator, because that's, so you were right on. To me, in my opinion, you could have addressed it. Even 15 minutes has nothing to do with the time issue. It's more, you set your intent that in your agreement, whatever you're going to see is for the client, implies that the client is ready to hear. If that is in your contract, then 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes, or 2 hours, doesn't matter. Yeah, right? If
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, if this was not in your agreement, you wouldn't have seen it. The fact that you saw it means your guidance system showed it to you. It means go for it. She's ready to hear it.
Right.
Susan, can you please confirm our other comments? Or
I can confirm them. I thought it was a wonderful healing, and now I know certain blocks to work to get rid of. So I'm very grateful for that.
do you relate to the whole father thing and then Creator?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so now to keep moving forward, then you make sure you release the frequency of the Father about understanding how life functions, the laws of the universe, what God is and all that stuff, and how you should use it in the context of healing. All of that is your Father's frequency that's blocking you. He's all over you. He's in your energy field. So he's actually an attachment in a way. We talked about that. Another person being an attachment. So you release the frequency of the Father related to speaking the truth and all that good stuff. So everything that Kim said is accurate, but you should release it as the frequency of the Father first. And this will then, once you released all this, which I'm helping you do right now, in fact, then you will get to your relationship with the Creator, and you having to step up and actually do His work. Because you understand, we are working with universal laws. So it's almost like you have to think that you are representing the divine order. Do you see what I'm saying? It's almost like, when you go to a law school, they give you the books of the country that you're supposed to, whatever, like if you're American, you study the laws of the United States. Or if you are, in Denmark or what have you, or the Netherlands, you study the laws of that country. And you take an oath to represent the laws of that country. Make sense? And so, and whatever you do, you perform professionally, is abiding by these laws. So what we are doing, in a way, is we are taking an oath to represent the laws of the universe. We're saying, I am not touching this individual until I am pure, until I can only bring the purest form energy there is, which is the energy of source, and so on and so forth. So our school, our the oath that we're taking is not of any country, is not of any planet, is that of our higher divine order, which is the creator order, you see. And that's a huge step. I mean, who can take that kind of step? Who can take that kind of oath? You see what I mean? And on some level, you know that that's the truth. That's why you're terrified. That's why you're terrified. That's why you don't have an issue with other tools. If you have an issue with healing, how come you don't feel the same with the other tools? You have an issue with these tools because these tools represent the ultimate healing according to the laws of Creator, of the universe. Make sense?
Makes sense.
All right, my dear, so you know what to work on. Very good. So moving right along, let's keep these wrapped up within 15 minutes. So next volunteer, please. Next practitioner and next client. If you don't volunteer, I'm going to have to make you a volunteer. So please raise your hand or send me a quick note. This is the time, folks, to have the courage to do this. We are here to support each other. Okay, so I have a practitioner who wants to be worked on. Make sure you have a mic. Wendy, you're a practitioner. I need a volunteer to be worked on. Amazing. With all the emails that I received to be worked on. Laura, would you like to be worked on or work on someone?
Well, I need to be worked on this issue that I am terrified of actually starting to do this with anyone.
Exactly.
I tried with one of my friends and with my daughter.
Yes.
I am terrified of not finding the root issue.
Okay, very good. So you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to make you the practitioner in the next round. All right?
Okay.
So we're going to bring all your fears up and we're going to work, you're going to work through that fear as you'll see. I'll guide you through it. Don't worry. So just hold on. Just hold on. And let's allow Wendy to be the practitioner and Daniel to be the client. And then we're going to get back to you, Laura. So we're going to let you soak in your fear a little bit. All right, Wendy, we need to hear your voice. Because, speak up, please.
Can you hear me?
Okay, very good. And let's bring your client. Now, another quick thing that Kim also said in her approach is she explained what she was going to do, quite nicely. But well, anyway, let's see what which was a very good thing. Let's see another good point. What I wanted to say. Okay, so let's move on to Wendy, being the practitioner. We, the observers, remain in our own private bubble. We are here to observe, simply, not project. And Wendy, take it away.
So Daniel, good morning. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I'm in California. Where are you located?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, at least you're in the same relative time zone. So what's happening with you today? How did you get drawn to this work, and how can I be of assistance to you?
Well, I have been very interested in energy healing, and I heard very good things about Omnium healing from other people. And I've taken Caroline's course, and I find it to be very intriguing and very interesting.
So you do your own connections and have a sense of working with source energy in your own being?
Yes, correct.
So how can we use that energy today to be assisting you with something you want to shift or something you want to create?
Yes. In the past few days, I've been feeling like lots of anger, especially in my liver area. I'm not exactly sure what is the source of it, but it's tremendous amount of energy, and it's almost like it feels like it's gonna explode in my body.
So just like all the time, just intense anger?
For some reason this morning, this morning I woke up angry and like, why am I so feeling this way?
So nothing you can really tie it to, just kind of pervasive anger.
Well, there have been a few things in the past few weeks that kind of bothered me, but it shouldn't have made me so upset, and I feel like I'm almost like overreacting to it. So I'm not sure where this energy is really coming from. It's almost like these things kind of triggered a lot of anger, and I just ready to let it go.
And any sense of it being collective anger, or beyond just you and your life?
Yes, definitely. That's a possibility.
All right, so that's what we want to address today, because you're also sensing it physically in your body, clearing that anger out of your space and out of your being. Do you have any particular questions about doing this work? I know you've done a lot of sessions. I don't want to waste a lot of time.
No, I think I have a good understanding of how it goes.
All right, well then let's just jump into the session. So go ahead and close your eyes. Feel yourself comfortable in your body. Feet flat on the floor. And just allow your attention to go directly to your breathing. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling out through your mouth, and intending with each exhale to relax your mind. Another deep breath in. Exhaling and relaxing your mind, your thoughts. Settling your body. Another deep breath. And exhaling and releasing any tension in your neck and throat. Continuing at your own pace to take deep breaths in through the nose, and asking your mind to just quiet, to relax, to let go. And one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just relaxing as we set our intentions for this session. We ask and intend to create a sacred space. We ask and intend to keep away distracting thoughts, distracting information, distracting energy. We ask and intend that this space be completely sealed and impenetrable to any energy not aligned with our highest good, with our intention, with our divine creator. We ask and intend to raise our vibration, to align our mind channels and our energy field with the energy of Source. We ask to bring this energy into our entire physical space now. This energy of pure and unconditional love. This energy of clarity. This energy of truth. We ask and intend that our spirit family of Source be present with us to help us create and maintain this sacred space. And take another deep breath and exhale. And our specific intention for this session is to clear and release at the root cause this pervasive anger that is part of Daniel's experience now, to clear and release the discomfort in his physical body, especially in his liver. this be done in a safe and comfortable way. And so it is. Take another deep breath. And exhale. So bring your attention to your heart center. And then allow that sense of where your heart center is to expand 360 degrees so that you have a real strong sense of this sacred space around you, about 7 to 9 feet out from your body. Imagining you're sitting in this sphere of light. It's deep, deep purple light, and it can only contain your energy and the energy of Divine Creator. Just allowing your physical body to register that space. And in your heart center, bringing your attention to a point above your head and seeing there a ball of light that we have brought to the session in response to your asking. To your asking to be free from this anger, to find and release the root cause of this anger. So allowing this light, which is white and silver light, pure source frequency, to begin to come and penetrate in through the top of your head. Begin to relax the cells, the muscles of your skull, on your face, responding to this light as if a sense of homecoming, a sense of reunion with something that you are longing for. Feel this presence and this light in your physical body. Filling your head completely with silver and white light, which is the energy of your Divine Father. And as it comes into your head, there's kind of this response like some confusion, but some like, where, excuse my French, but where the fuck have you been? Just like some delight, it's here, and some just rage at where have you been? Does that resonate for you at all as I'm talking about it?
Yes, it does.
So, say a little bit more about that.
Well, actually, I got a thought that just popped in my mind a few moments ago, just saying that I feel like I've just been angry that things lately have not been going the way I would have liked to, and I'm not really manifesting what I really want in life. So I'm just like frustrated.
Right. So that frustration and that anger that things aren't happening the way you want, it's in a way, there's this deeper longing to connect to source. I mean, you found Caroline, you're doing this work, and the frustration blocks the connection. Does that make sense? The anger that some of yourself, some of Creator, that it's not easier to create here, gets in the way. The energy starts coming in, and then this emotion comes up. So would you like to release that emotional response so you can have more ease and connection?
I actually already feel like the energy is moving. I'm very sensitive to energy, and I can actually feel the energy is moving.
Mm-hmm. So, say a little bit more. Where is it moving? Here?
I feel like it's like like the emotion of anger is like detoxifying, like it's coming out of the cells of my body. And it's almost, I feel like, almost so like a visual myself being like in the sun, or almost like sweating it out. And it's just unbelievable. Ever since we started this session, I already start feeling like the shifts moving.
Well, that's the strength of your intention, and you're using this source energy. Yeah, cool. So stay with that feeling of the sauna and the energy moving out. You've had enough. It's no longer serving you. You're releasing with the power of your intention and the power of this light coming through your body. Kind of continuing now from your head, and as you said, flowing through your body, allow yourself and release feeling. So the words you spoke were kind of an intention, but I want you also to repeating after me. I ask and intend
I ask and I intend
to release this frustration
to release this frustration
and this anger
and this anger
that it's difficult to create here.
It's difficult to create here.
And I ask and intend
I ask and I intend
to release this anger
to release this anger
at myself
at myself
and at my Creator.
and at my Creator,
From every cell in my physical body,
from every cell in my physical body,
from my heart,
from my heart,
my lungs,
my lungs,
from my liver
from my liver
and kidneys.
and kidneys.
And take a deep breath.
Wrap it up,
I
please.
also feel like the anger moving from my eyes. This is like really amazing. I'm so sensitive. I can feel the energy, all these different places.
Mm-hmm. You are very sensitive. Yeah, that's really cool. And you're wanting it to move. So releasing even how you see the world or the energy that you put out in the world. You releasing that energy from your eyes. It's kind of fiery.
Wrap it up, please.
So bringing your attention to your heart center as all this energy is moving through your body. Just make an intention and a commitment to continue to release this anger and frustration and deepen your longing to connect to Source and to be who you truly are. And so it is. Allow your attention to feel yourself in your physical body, your thighs, your knees, your calves. And take one last deep breath. And when you feel comfortable, open your eyes. So, how are you doing, Daniel?
Great, I feel better. It's almost weird. It's like the anger is gone and I'm actually feeling happy now. It's like a total shift in my being. It was really amazing. This work is unbelievable. It never ceases to amaze me.
Me too. Thank you very much for allowing me to work with you.
Thank you. You're a very nice healer.
So it is.
All right. So, folks, first of all, before was it on Wendy's side or on Daniel's side? Who was continuously touching the mic? banging the mic? Because there's a lot of who is touching their mic right now?
Oh, I am. Sorry.
Okay, all right. So because I thought it was on Wendy, were you touching your mic during when you were speaking? Okay.
No, I won't touch it.
Okay, good. No, because I'm actually bringing up a point here that I'm so glad I have a constant reminder mentor about those things. But anyway, it is very, very, very distracting. It's very difficult to focus on the energy when you have something banging. So from the practitioner point of view, you learn this as you go, of course, but you have to really try to maximize the quality of the connection. We're using electronics, we're using telephones. I mean, there's all this stuff going on. So there's always problems, as you very well know, but we want to minimize those. And if something is coming up, for example, even if it's not on your end, let's say it's on the client's end, in this case, Daniel, you really want to address it. To me, it was very distracting because Wendy, your energy was like amazing. You're like an instant omnipresence energy, it's like in 2 minutes, you're not even actually, you're there. It's such a massive, kind of a place of stillness, that if I have to describe your energy, it's perfect stillness. And here you are, you have the banging going on. So if it's on your side or on the client's side or on the outside, so there's somebody outside making noise or something, I think you should address that because you can get into a much deeper connection. Then you have all kinds of stuff coming up, and for the client, and you have all these technical problems going on. So make sure that is part of the session. This is something we're using machines and tools to take into consideration as part of the preparation of the session. Okay. So now everybody, please. Let's share what did you find really, really good, and what did you find that what kind of comments do you have for Wendy in terms of to support her in any sort of constructive criticism? This is the time to share. Please raise your hand so she can be helped. She can receive the feedback. So who has what to say about this session and about Wendy's ability to conduct a session? Anyone? Okay, here we go. Mary, go ahead, please.
Okay, because Daniel said he had a lot of anger and agitation, I thought Wendy did a good job in taking her time and such quietness to create a still, sacred space. So I thought that little extra time that she took that I wouldn't have thought of was excellent. I'm not sure she got to the root cause either, but maybe she did. We're supposed to say what we think.
Yeah, definitely. This is a support for everyone. So go ahead. Yeah.
It's sort of a strange feeling that perhaps some of this anger is coming from something that's happening now on the planet, whether there's some turmoil or some hatred or anger that's in some part of the planet that's affecting him. Or maybe and then another thing I thought about was, could it be some sort of interference
exactly.
In his presence?
Exactly.
Attachment or something.
But we're here. We are still, looking at how Wendy, not so much what the problem is with Daniel, but how did Wendy address? Do you feel that she did address that or not? Are you saying that she didn't address?
Oh, I think she did to a point. I just don't know whether. Of course, we didn't have the time to go further, but yeah. It was quiet and still and calming and beautiful, and I think she did a very good job.
Okay, so you don't think she identified the root cause? We're going to find out from her. Yeah, maybe she felt it again, like Kim. Maybe she felt it, but she didn't verbalize it. So we'll see. Susan is saying Wendy created a wonderful sacred space, and it was helpful to see her client to go through the process. Yeah, isn't that cool? It's. I hope you can have fun seeing that. I mean, it's really amazing how Daniel's energy started and how it became very, very quickly. Wendy, as soon as she started to speak, her energy, of calming energy and an energy of stillness, brought him very, very quickly to this place of peace. So it's very interesting to watch. But again, did she get to the root cause? We're going to see that in just a minute. Also, Anik saying, Wendy was amazingly focused, very powerful. Why don't you say what you have to say? Anik, please go ahead and share. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I unplugged my mic every time. Yes, sorry. Well, exactly what I wrote is I found that Wendy was so focused. I mean, she was, like you said, so calm and so in the moment. I mean, her presence was unbelievable, and she was able to like switch or help Daniel release that anger energy like in a click.
In a click, exactly.
At first, I was a bit surprised because I thought that she was going to go to the liver to kind of look at, what was there and everything. But I guess, the way she did it was perfect because, they were able to release it.
Yeah. So because of the way Wendy is, the way she's focused, the way she is, or the way her energy works, she kind of immediately brought the overall energy of Daniel to this kind of place of peace. She didn't go to the detail of the liver and take out the anger and stuff like that. And that brought him to an overall sense of peace. So that's the ability that she has, which is pretty amazing. Go ahead, Cindy, what do you have to say?
It reminded me right from the beginning, like when you said this too. As soon as she started to speak, she commanded the space.
Exactly.
That's the word that came to me, is that she has an incredible command
Yes.
of the space.
Exactly.
And it was beautiful. And it was, in the word that was just used, click, everything's click, click, click. And it was wonderful to hear this. It's just so great to, I guess I work with animals, and so it's a whole different thing for me to hear it actually verbalized and talking, because I want to work with people as well. So this is calming me down, as far as working with human beings and things like that.
Exactly. Again, that is her ability to command the space. Brilliant ability. Wendy, you have this very, very amazing ability to immediately get the space perfectly still, perfectly in that frequency. So very, very strong point for you. Needless to say, your voice also accompanies that. I have to say though, for me, one criticism that I have is using curse words. Every word is a vibration. So even if you felt like saying that, or whatever, it's almost like your energy was the vibration was so high and so kind of expanded, and it's like kind of when you expressed it in this way, there was like a bump, so be very careful about that, because like I said, everything has a vibration. So the words have a vibration, and so it's almost like, just to kind of put it in numbers. Okay, so let's say you are at 1,000 hertz, and then you're maintaining the client space 1,000 hertz, and then you drop to like 3, and then you go back to 1,000. So it's like, why? So make sure that in your contract, even if you feel that these are the appropriate words, I mean, in terms of expressing the feeling, just there is another way that will not disrupt the frequency that you're holding. Okay, so just remember that as a comment. So again, asking you, did you get to the root cause or not?
Well, what I saw when I first saw him was like what's changed in the grid. And
Exactly. Brilliant, Mary. You did see that Daniel was dealing immediately with global things that were happening, huge global things that were going on at the last few days. And so very good job, Mary, identifying that. Wendy, you did identify that. You may, I would have, in fact, verbalized this because I think he would have found comfort in understanding that when he wakes up in the morning and there's no reason whatsoever, and he starts to have ridiculous anger that takes over his whole being, he may take, don't you think he would feel comfortable understanding that he's tapping into the collective consciousness? And I think right there would allow him to let go of what's wrong with me, why is this not working, da, da, da. So I think this was an important piece to, if you identified it, to have to verbalize it. That's one thing.
So
And
I
also,
did ask,
go ahead.
when we were first talking, I asked him if he thought any of it was collective. So, but that's
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah, but I'm saying like during the session, as you were holding the space and say, if you were saying, Daniel, I see that you are feeling, you're bringing, you're sensing this huge, massive opening in the grid. There's all sorts of chaos going on. You're experiencing. Daniel, as I'm speaking, don't you relate to that and feel comfortable in a way, understanding why that is, so there's that. And also, who saw a massive attachment? Guys, there was a huge interference going on, massive, that is part of the collective of the grid opening up. So it was hand in hand. The grid was opening up. He was going through all this chaotic energy, coming in, going out, moving in, things shifting in a very, very big way, and massive interference. And so what happened is that when you were holding it holding him in that very omnipresence kind of energy, that frequency, the attachment could not hold itself. The interference had to dissolve. That's why he felt so good, because the interference was released. It is absolutely gone, and that's exactly how this works. That's why it's like a miracle. So did you see who saw this interference? Wendy, did you sense that?
Yeah, well, that's why I said when I put him in his sphere,
Yeah.
I filled it with the purple light,
Yeah.
and said, his energy, I was clearing out all the stuff,
Okay.
knowing I had 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And his energy was kind of ramped up, so
Yeah.
that was my intention at that time.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very, very brilliant job in immediately commanding the space, as Anique said. Very powerful work in that way. Just make sure some little things come in handy, technical issues, words, things like that. And also verbalizing things that may immediately bring relief to the client. All right, very good. So, but again, for those who don't know Wendy, those who don't know Kim, please don't hesitate to contact each other for more practice sessions and other private sessions. Okay, and next we are going to who wants to volunteer? We're going to let Laura, I'm going to pretend that Laura volunteered. What do you say, Laura? Are you up for it? As the practitioner?
Yeah, I was just thinking for a second, maybe she's forgotten about me.
I have not. I can think of more than two things at once, believe it or not.
I was hoping you'd forgotten.
I would like you to intend that your fear be dissolved as you actually do the work. So if you're up for it, we'll support you. Yeah?
Yes, anyway, as Wendy's session was going through, I was first trembling at the beginning, literally
Yes.
shaking, and I've been getting calmer and calmer. I think Wendy's energy probably helped this along, and I've been settling down and saying, okay, this is, now you've got to do it, Laura. You
Yeah.
grow up.
Okay. Okay, first, great. We're here to support. This is the space to do it. Okay, Daniel, bye. I know you got to go to work. Okay, so he's sending his love to Wendy and everybody. All right, so I need a volunteer who wants to be worked on. Hurry up. We have a practitioner waiting. All right, John, let's open the line. Okay, John. Don't forget, your intent is also to wrap it up within 10-15 minutes. So, try to intend that so I don't have to jump in. And believe me, if you know what you're doing, which you all do by now, you just have to believe it, you can do a lot in 15 minutes. Look what we just did. Released massive attachment, refocuses entire energy field. I mean, you could do a lot in 15 minutes, so please don't think that that's not enough. All right, so Laura, take it away. Here's your client.
Hello, your name is John? Is that correct? Okay. Just to help me connect, can you tell me where you are geographically?
West Central.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Southwest of Turkey.
Southwest of
Turkey.
Turkey. Okay, right. Great. Okay, so John, have you been following all Caroline's teachings from the beginning of these healer sessions?
Yes, probably.
Okay, so just to save time, I'm not going to go through any explanations, all right? I think that what we can do is immediately talk about your intent for this session and what your issue is and what you'd like help with.
What I'd like help with is, I find whenever I try to do something and it's preset, I often feel like it's kind of blocked. Like, I'll either go halfway and I'll stop, I'll second guess myself. I feel like I might explode creating this work.
Okay, am I correct in saying that it sounds like you have self-doubt about everything that you do?
There's a bit of that, yes.
Okay, so self-doubt and you feel unable to do things in a flow, you said?
Because I'll start something, and I'll start second guessing myself.
Okay. Okay, yeah, all right. Would you say that it's your mental that's butting in and stopping your intuition and your divine guidance from getting you to do what you want to do?
Yeah, and sometimes I'm confused who is stopping. Sometimes I think the mental that's sometimes I'll think guidance. It's coming in with catching my mind, but I'm trying to hand it guidance.
Okay. All right. Well, I suggest we start, getting into this, and we are going to express this. The intent of the day is going to be to try and find the root cause of this self-doubt, of this hesitation, of not knowing whether it is your divine guidance or your ego mind that is guiding you. Is that correct? Am I saying it properly, or would you like to reword it?
It's correct, but I would also like to remove all blocks to,
Yes,
that
okay.
creating, the process of start my 3D creation.
Okay, the blocks that you are creating yourself and that are preventing you from creating in 3D what you really wish to create. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, as the sound is a little bit interrupted, sometimes, I miss some of your words, so I'm just going to be really sure that I have understood the issue so I don't, go wrong, okay, from this. Right, could we now start by Breathing very calmly, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Moving in, interiorizing our energy into our heart center. We ask and intend to create our sacred space. We ask and intend to connect to the energy of Source and to Divine Creator. Breathe in still through the nose and out through the mouth. We ask and intend that our master guides and members of our spirit family be with us to protect and maintain this sacred space, to remove all unwanted energies, interferences, distraction thoughts, mind chatter. Now from our heart center we are going to merge with our spirit self and expand. And as we connect to our spirit self, and I merge with yours, we are going to let our spirit selves guide us into finding the root cause of John's self-doubts, of his feeling of being unable to create what he wants to create in this 3D world. Of his feeling sometimes unable to distinguish whether he's listening to his higher guidance or just his mind. Take a deep breath in and breathe out through the mouth. I'm perceiving sensations around your throat center and your shoulders, upper shoulders. I would like you to tell me what you feel there, if there is any particular sensation or discomfort.
My shoulders, there's some tension.
Yes. Could you put an, yes, sorry?
And my throat, it feels like the vibration in my throat is not quite high, it's a bit up.
Okay, I didn't get that last word, sorry, this vibration in your throat?
It's not quite as high as other parts of your body.
Yes, okay, yeah, there's pressure here and there's constriction in a sense in the energy. Can you verbalize an emotion that you feel in your throat there? How would you describe? You know, I use the word constriction. Is there an emotion attached to this for you? If you can.
It's a mixture of fear and pain, like wanting to breathe.
Yes, right. This is what I'm feeling. So I have the impression that you are proclaiming that something is strangling you and preventing you from speaking out and being you, being your own self. And there's some anger here and you're wanting to scream out and release yourself. All right, can we go a little bit deeper? And if you can relate to that, can you go deeper and try and say what you think is strangling you, even on a symbolical level maybe, or a real, concrete 3D level?
first thing which came to mind was like expectations from family.
Expectations from? Yeah, okay. All right, I can feel the family issue quite strongly. I have a feeling somebody is symbolically strangling you, preventing you from expressing yourself and being yourself. Does this relate to anything for you?
Well, I don't know who specifically, but I often sometimes feel expectations from family.
Right, okay. And these expectations can also be social expectations and job expectations as we go around working in society. Huh? Right. I think we're going to start by asking and intending to remove some of these blocks, all right? And then we'll see if we can go any further. So take a deep breath. Breathe out through the mouth and repeat. I ask and intend. Can you repeat after me? I ask and intend to remove. I ask and intend to remove from every cell of my throat, from my shoulders, from my chest, this sensation of being oppressed, crushed, and strangled.
This sensation of being oppressed, crushed, and strangled.
And the feeling of anger. And of not being able to express myself and be who I am.
And of not being able to express myself and be who I am.
I ask that this block be removed now.
I ask this block be removed now.
I'd like you to visualize over your throat a blue sphere of light, bright blue, full of energy. I would like you all again to repeat that I ask and intend to release this anger within me now.
I ask and intend to release this anger within me now.
Right. Imagine that it is dissolving in this light. Breathe out. Release it. I would like you now to repeat. I choose now to believe that I am free to make my choices. That I am free to express myself. And that I can trust my own guidance.
And wrap it up, please.
Yes. Okay. I'd like you to connect yourself to a very pure white light descending upon you, crystal clear. And know that that crystal light is your divine guidance, your divine mind, and who you are. And welcome it into you so that it can guide you from here on. we ask and intend that this session may continue in a safe and comfortable way.
Yes. Session.
Okay, how are you feeling now? Are you okay, John?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. So strong movement of energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Okay, John. You have to speak louder. But anyway, the session is over now. But we couldn't hear you very clearly. But that's okay. So let's stop right here. This is such a fascinating process, watching both of you. Very, very interesting stuff happening here. So for the observers, please let's share a little bit our notes so we can help Laura in the process, and of course we're going to allow John to continue to unfold. But what have you noticed? What is the very strong point for Laura, and where what can she still work on? So please raise your hands so we can hear your comments. All right, let's see. Cindy, yes, please. What have you noticed? What is your comment?
I loved her, what I kind of think of as discovery questions. That, she was very complete in repeating back to him what she heard. And it was fun to watch because it's like she was getting the healing. I think all of us were getting the healing that as she was doing it with him.
Exactly. Yes, right on. It was so fascinating, so interesting what was happening. Brilliant. Laura is more brilliant than she thinks, and so yeah, go ahead.
She was, and I have to use that word too, as she was, her voice, her command.
Yeah.
And as she was doing this, she was getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
And it was quite beautiful, and it helped me because it was like it was ping-pong all over the place for all of our insecurities.
She was working on herself, actually. Very, very interesting. So interesting. Where can she? What comment do you have to give her to help her? What does she need to work on?
Well, exactly what she was giving him to believe in herself, to relax, to know that she has that commanding spirit. Obviously, this process of Omnium is so powerful that it's healing her as a practitioner and going. I mean, it was so powerful and so beautiful. She just needs to have that confidence.
Yeah.
Everything she's doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think to myself as I'm saying that as well.
Yeah, very good, very good. She represented a lot of people in here, but it's very, very interesting what happened actually. Okay, let's hear more comments. Yasmin, what do you have to say to Laura?
Well, congratulations, Laura, for doing it.
For surviving.
Yeah, right there. I would say the moment you started, the energy was so great. I was like, whoa. It was like coming out the computer. I was like, wow, this is great. So great job. It's funny. It's like you doubt yourself when you do it. Your energy is so there. It's great.
Okay,
So keep going. That's great. It was great. You were engaging him a lot, so that was great. The only maybe comment I could make, maybe to help you improve is that you're feeling things and just, you can tell him. You don't always need him to tell you what all he's feeling. And you can really trust what you're getting and clear that.
Well, I don't totally agree with, I understand, Yasmin, what you're saying, but I don't totally agree because that's what actually was very interesting in this particular session, is that in this particular session with this particular client, I understand your point, Yasmin, in general, but with this particular client, it was actually very appropriate and quite brilliant, actually, to make him repeat. Now, we had the technical problem which kind of forced her to actually keep saying, okay, what is it that you said? What is it that you said? But at the same time, she was trying to get him to articulate what the problem is. This particular client, the issue that he's struggling with is he does not understand how everything works. He does not understand the mechanics of life, the mechanics of the universe. He does not understand his place, his role in this whole story, right? In this whole, plan, in this whole creation order, what have you. That's why he doesn't know how to create or what to create, or he's insecure, because this particular client needs to hear and understand how things work first, so that he knows how to create. He needs to understand how the mechanics are. Once he understands, then he creates. That is the belief system that's blocking him. So, do you understand? So this client is very much in his head. So Laura is making him think about and articulate about, his particular problem as if he had to sort things out. And that's precisely the process that he needs to get out of. Do you understand what I'm saying? So she was using exactly the process that he needed, because this particular client, if you had said, okay, just blue color and red color and whatever, without any explanation, he would have felt good, but he would have come right back to the same place, because this client needs to understand. He needs to understand how things work before he can create. That's the belief system. So the first thing I would have said, I ask and intend to release the belief system that I can't create anything until I understand the whole story. Who am I? Why am I here? Where do I fit? How do I fit? What is my role? All of that stuff, right? So that's why it's very interesting that the technical issues, of course, were very appropriate, which, of course, normally we should have stopped and said, you know what, let me call you on the other phone or something. But we allowed that to happen. We forced Laura, which again, I think even if this was not a technical problem, she still probably would have made this client repeat what the issue said. So I think, in fact, this works in Laura's favor. Her ability to engage the client, to tell her again, what is it exactly that you're feeling? Is that what you're feeling? Would you say that that's what you're feeling? All of this was very, very nicely done in this particular case. Now, watch out, Laura, though, because in some cases, this could be too wordy for other people. You see? So it worked very, very well with this client because you were engaging him into the story and sorting through that. Watch out your mics and everything. Also, another thing, when you're working over the web, you're touching the mic, you're breathing very strongly into the mic. All of these things sounds like, what does it have to do with, conducting session? Have a lot to do with it. Again, we're trying to use human-made tools, but it's distracting. So please watch out for those things. So this is what, for Laura, about verbalizing things, engaging the client. But let's see who else. Susan is saying, Laura was able to maintain the flow. Exactly. You were also able to maintain. It was very frustrating. We couldn't hear half the stuff he was saying. And yet you remained focused and you maintained the flow, which was very, very nicely done. I would love to listen to her. Okay. Yes, I felt that. Okay. Who else? Let me see. What other comments do you have for Laura so she can improve? All right, so I don't see any other comments as saying, thanks to Cindy, she was able to express what I thought. Great job, Laura. She did it. Yeah, exactly. So, and what was very interesting, and it's nice that we're wrapping up this session with Laura as well, who's terrified until the very end. She was terrified. But somebody said that even though you were terrified, you are still able to maintain the flow. So think about that. You're terrified on the inside, but the energy is still flowing. You're still able to maintain and conducting the session. So just remember that. So there's something that's still working. This is something that's going to get easier with habit as well. So
I have a little question, Caroline. Is
Yes?
it possible? I'm always very scrupulous. The reason why I asked him to identify what he was feeling and all that as the session went on is I'm very scrupulous about identifying for others and telling them you're feeling this.
yeah,
You know, I want them to say it because I feel that it's violating their intimacy in a sense to tell them, well, this is how you feel. Is this, am I exaggerating that?
no, but what I'm saying is it works in your favor. In this particular, with this particular client, the fact that you wanted him to say that and you not telling him was helping him. Do you see? So it worked in his favor. So now on a separate,
Yeah.
in
It
on
has
a,
happened to me before, to know that some people, there's no way they will be able to say what they're feeling, and that I have to say it for them.
Exactly.
I have read that before, yeah.
Exactly. So in this particular case, like I said, this was the appropriate thing to do, engaging the client to say these things. But on the other hand, so what was started to happen was really, really fascinating. So you were working on your own stuff at the same time, which, by the way, you all do. But what was interesting with Laura is it was very obvious. Where, you know, so...
The minute he said what his problem was, I said, oh, this is my problem.
Exactly. So,
How I felt.
you know, part of your contract is, and part of this work is that, you know, whatever your energy you're sending out, which is the energy of healing, is also balancing you on one level or another. But in this particular session, Laura was the exact mirror of John. And so what happened energetically is that everything you were saying to him was actually for you, and it was being sent back to him. It was very, very very cool to watch all of these energies going back and forth. And because you were working on you as well, now, you know, certain things were shifting inside you. And I'm sure you could feel that, right?
Yes.
And you are getting yeah.
Yes, sorry. Was I projecting? This is what are we just? Are John and I just real mirrors because we have the same problem, or was I projecting my problems on him?
No.
Because this is something that worries me. I'm afraid of doing this.
Put it in your contract that you will not project. Yeah. So you are not projecting. That's not what I said. That you are not projecting your issues on him. You are working your common issues together. And because you were sensing all the shifting inside you, it was getting you also a little bit energetically kind of, not emotional, but kind of like you were shifting very strongly as he was shifting. Now, this is normally happening for everyone, but you have to be careful where it could kind of, you may lose the control, so to speak, of the session, because there's so much stuff that you're processing and you're feeling, okay? So put it in your contract that whatever I'm working on during a session that applies to me, it will not interfere in my ability to remain focused and my ability to continue to bring the healing that is required for my client at this particular time. So it doesn't mean that you're stopping your healing. It just means that it's not interfering. It's not the emotions or whatever is happening is not interfering with your ability to continue conducting the session. So anyway, very, very interesting stuff. Know one thing, like I said, all the fears that you're feeling, you are still able to maintain and hold the session. So all you have to do, that's why I made you do it, because that's how you're going to get over it, is just by constantly doing it over and over and over.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're
very much.
sure, and you're going to see that people will feel the shift and will feel. Now, going back to John, the big issue, in fact, I just said what the issue was, which I'm not sure if you really saw the root cause, because you're still a little bit, worried about all this. You're still nervous, but
Yeah,
which is okay. Yeah, but that's okay. But the point is, for John, the big question is knowing how everything works. Many of you have that issue. John, do you relate to it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so many of you are afraid to jump into, same with Laura. You're afraid to own your power, to do this fully, to understand how powerful you are, because you're waiting to see kind of what else is out there or how you fit in the story. It doesn't matter what the story is. It doesn't matter if you understand it all. Even though you've read the book once, you've read it twice, but this book and this story is so massive. You're not going to know it all in this year, and then next year you start working, you start doing something, or you start creating. It doesn't work this way. Today you start creating with the part of the story that you understand. As you start to create, your creation gets bigger, therefore you understand more of the story. Next week, the story gets bigger. You understand more of the story. You can create more within that much of the story. So you start to create even more. Next month is the same thing. You understand more of the story. More of the story comes in. Therefore, you can create more. Do you see? So by next year, you understand maybe half of the story, and you are creating half of your capability, but you use what you know today to create, and as you create, the rest of the story starts to get clearer. Does that make sense? And so many of you are using this as an excuse to not own your power and your ability to create, because you're waiting for the story, the end of the film, to reveal itself, and it does not work this way. This is not a linear thing. This is not one book that you read, you graduate, and you get on. It's not like that. Your consciousness is multidimensional. As you create, you understand more. The more you understand, the more you can create. Make sense? All right, folks, make sure you continue practicing on the online chat through the forum. Find each other, exchange emails, do whatever you want to continue practicing with each other. And I will connect with you next week, next time. I'll look for your emails, and then we'll follow up with more sessions like these. I hope you had a good time tonight, today, wherever you are.